All right, today we're looking at Luke chapter 21, verses 12 to 19. In these verses, Jesus warns his disciples about persecution. Now, persecution has ebbed and flowed throughout church history. We can even see this from the book of Acts. There were times of peace when the apostles were meeting daily in the temple, but there were also intense times of persecution, like when Stephen was stoned. Still today, it's mostly peaceful for Christians in North America to meet, but look at the map of nations where Christians face persecution. Persecution is a terrible and sad reality for many believers in Christ's church. Jesus warns his followers about the persecution that would surely come. But before all this, meaning before the destruction of the temple in AD 70, they will lay hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and prisons, and you will be brought before kings and governors for my name's sake. Don't be surprised if following Jesus is hard. Jesus warned us. But Jesus says there's a reason for the suffering. First, it is for his name's sake. It brings honor to him when we suffer and stand fast in the faith. And this will be your opportunity to bear witness. Difficult times produced the greatest opportunities to be a witness for Jesus. And I heard a story just last week about a pastor who was thrown in jail. And you know what he's doing there? He's witnessing to the inmates and prison guards. The hardest moment of your life will be the greatest opportunity to share the love of Jesus Christ. And Jesus gives us a promise for this moment, that he would give you a mouth and wisdom to speak. All you need to do is not worry and trust that he will give you the power to stand firm in the hardest moment. Then Jesus says, you will be delivered up even by parents and brothers and relatives and friends. Some of you they will put to death. Yes, some will die. But then in the next breath, Jesus says this, but not a hair of your head will perish. Now, how will that be? Some of you will die, and yet not even a hair of one's head will perish. Now, both things are gloriously true. Yes, some believers will face terrible persecution, and some will even die. Yet at the same time, not one single hair of their head, not one piece of property they lose, not one lost opportunity in this life for pleasure or enjoyment, not one of those will not be restored and even multiplied in God's kingdom to come. Lose your wealth here, Jesus says, you will have treasure in heaven. Lose your friends, and you will gain a community of love. Lose your job, and you'll gain a life in the age to come of creative productivity more than you ever dreamed. Yes, even lose your life, and you will gain a life more full and free and everlasting than you could ever imagine.